Straight ahead on WBKB, what's going on with high school contact sports?
Plus, Alpena police respond to an afternoon road rage incident and a look at what some people are eating for the big game.
You're watching Thunder Bay News Network. WBKB News at 6 starts now.
This is WBKB News at 6. An in-depth look at news, weather, and sports. From hard-hitting news stories to local events, we're there with coverage you can count on. You're watching WBKB News at 6.
Good evening and thank you for joining us. I'm Tyler Cruz.
And I'm Sherry Stewart. Well, the National Weather Service has issued a winter weather advisory for Northeast Michigan. We're going to send it to meteorologist Ellie Morrison for a first look at that incoming storm. Ellie, what can you tell us?
So Sherry, we have that winter weather advisory shaded in gray across the area. That's going into effect at 7 p.m. this evening, so very shortly, and continues until 7 a.m. Friday. Off to the west in pink, closer to Lake Michigan. That's a winter storm warning where they are expecting heavier amounts of snow up towards the Sheboygan area, down towards Traverse City, and along the Lake Michigan shoreline. Around our area, we're going to be getting 3 to 5 inches of snow tonight into early tomorrow. That snow's moving in from the west. It's already snowing in Traverse City and Cadillac. The snow will be spreading to the east and arriving in our area later this evening as we go into the next couple of hours. So those chances of snow are going to become much higher around 8 p.m. this evening. We'll have snow continuing through the night. Still a little bit of snow early on Friday, but those chances of snow drop off heading into Friday afternoon. Going into the weekend, there's some much colder air to talk about. I'll have more on that coming up later in the newscast.
Thank you for that, Ellie. Well, the Michigan House Oversight Committee met today to discuss vaccine rollout and the current state of high school sports. For much of the meeting, the committee heard an update on the state's vaccination process from the Department of Health and Human Services Director Elizabeth Hertel as Michigan continues to administer first and second dose vaccines. But the big news to begin this morning's meeting, lawmakers immediately passed a House resolution that urges Governor Whitmer and the State Health Department to get student athletes back in the game.
This resolution urges the governor and the Michigan Department of Health and Human Services to lift the ban on certain high school sports and allow play to resume immediately.
And the Oversight Committee passed the resolution by a 6-3 vote. Later today, Governor Whitmer spoke on contact sports in high schools, and she did exactly what the House resolution said, announced a resume of all high school sports.
So after receiving input from doctors, from coaches, from students, from parents, and legislative leaders, today, DHHS is issuing a new EPI order that will allow sports teams to begin in-person practice on Monday, February 8th, as long as masks are worn at all times.
So on February 8th, non-contact and contact sports in high schools will be able to practice and compete. We'll have more details on exactly what the rest of the season will look like coming up in sports.
Well, besides announcing a return to contact sports, Governor Whitmer and Dr. Janae Caldoun also spoke on how to safely bring kids back to schools. In an executive order signed Thursday, Whitmer established the Student Recovery Advisory Council of Michigan. The council provides guidance and recommendations to lawmakers and educators, ensuring students have all their needs covered to get back on track with their learning. In 2021, Whitmer has prioritized educators to get the vaccine in order to bring kids back to school safely and quickly. Whitmer noted that schools offer more to children than just learning, like meals, internet access, and mental health support.
Well, Michigan business owners across the state are getting hit with a surprise tax increase in 2021. A surge in unemployment claims last year due to the pandemic has depleted the state's unemployment trust fund. Businesses normally pay into the fund, and now, because the money's low, the state says businesses have to make up the cost. The more people out of work, the more unemployment tax rate increases, and the more businesses have to pay into the fund. According to the Small Business Association of Michigan, restaurants could feel the most impact. Before the pandemic, the trust fund had $4.5 billion, and now there's just a little over $700 million.
Well, Alpena police were called to the scene of a road rage incident Thursday afternoon at 2nd Avenue and Park Place. Officers arrived to find two males arguing outside their cars. Police say the two drivers exchanged words while stopped at the intersection of Chisholm and 2nd. One of the drivers reportedly got out of his car and approached the other car, where a physical altercation ensued. Officers arrested a 40-year-old Alpena man for assault and battery. The victim, a 49-year-old Alpena resident, sustained minor injuries but declined medical treatment.
And with just 3 days until Super Bowl 55, many may be preparing for a nice, relaxing, and warm, socially distanced game day. WBKB had a chance to hear what one resident around town is thinking in terms of Super Bowl snacks.
Well, I guess the classic answer is wings, always wings, but...
You say wings. Are they breaded wings? Are they saucy wings? What kind of flavor?
Oh, you definitely got to go with the saucy wings for the Super Bowl party. I think the messier, the better.
Now, while we all love football, there's so much more to the big game, from the most creative commercials to the halftime shows and, of course, some ice-cold beer. Most of us in town will probably be at home staying warm and out of the snow, but the CDC is recommending fans stay away from large gatherings and stay at their own residence instead.
Those wings look good.
Yeah, right.
Well, there is more news ahead for you here on WBKB. Coming up, the annual spring tree sale brochures are now available.
And welcome back. Brochures are now available for landowners looking to purchase trees. Stephanie Minichi has the story.
The Alpena Montmorency Conservation District's annual tree sale began back in January. This is the time of year where landowners place orders to purchase everything from seedlings to hardwoods, shrubs, fruit trees, and more. District Manager April Williamson says they have a large customer base that varies.
We have local farmers that might use, they might purchase seedlings from us to put up windbreaks on their properties, on their driveways, or on, in between pastures. We have hunting camps that buy large quantities of trees.
She says they're trying to keep all native species, but also incorporating some that are climate adaptable.
We're trying to find more climate adaptable species. So we, along with being native, we've got some other things like shagbark hickory and hackberry, things we haven't seen on our tree sale for a lot of years.
Williamson says even though they have a large customer base, they are able to accommodate all orders.
I think our mailing list is upwards of almost 700 people that we mail out to. So, we can get more people added to our list. We'll get them brochures. But, you don't have to order a large amount. You can order just a couple things, and we take every customer and we try to fill up every supply that we can.
The final deadline to have your order in is March 31st, and pickup day is scheduled for Friday, May 7th from 9 a.m. until 5 p.m. at the Alpena warehouse. For more information, you can visit alpenamontcd.org or call their office. In Alpena, Stephanie Minichi, WBKB News.
Well, several Democratic lawmakers today issued a resolution calling on President Biden to cancel student loans. Senate Majority Leader Chuck Schumer, along with Elizabeth Warren and other top Democrats, are pushing Biden to take executive action to cancel $50,000 of student loan debt for each borrower. Biden has previously been supportive of canceling $10,000 of student loan debt. The action would cancel the debt for 36 million Americans, around 80% of federal student loan borrowers, but private student loans would not be forgiven. The total student debt in the country sits at $1.7 trillion, and the proposed plan would bring that balance down to just $700 million.
Well, in health news, another reason to cut out white bread and a new tool for treating Parkinson's disease. Nancy Chin has some of the day's top health stories.
A high-tech monitoring system could help doctors treat Parkinson's disease. A team of scientists tested a smartwatch on hundreds of patients to capture their movement and tremors throughout the day. By tracking fluctuations in patterns, doctors could adjust medication schedules for the best treatment. A study in Denmark finds women with multiple sclerosis may not be at higher risk for pregnancy complications, including gestational diabetes and preeclampsia. The study, which involved about 3,000 MS patients, did find those women have a higher chance of giving birth by C-section. And a diet with large amounts of processed refined grains, like white flour, is linked to a higher risk of heart disease. A study in the BMJ tracked 137,000 people in multiple countries. The highest intake of refined grains was associated with a 33% higher risk of serious cardiovascular events. Those are some of the day's top health stories. Nancy Chen, CBS News, New York.
Well, coming up on WBKB News, Ellie Morrison is next with your 7-day forecast, plus the photo of the day. Stay tuned.
If you have a photo such as nature shots, pics with friends, or interesting sights you see that you'd like to send us, email it along with a short description to news@wbkb11.com.
It almost looks like a camel, a winter camel. Sports is coming up next, but first we send it to Jake Vanderbrook with the preview. Jake, what's going on today?
Tyler, it looks like that deer is smiling, by the way, and just like all of you should be smiling, because next in sports, one Alpena golfer signed her national letter of intent to play at the collegiate level. Find out who and where she's going. Plus, Contact Winter Sports can return to action starting this Monday. I don't know about you, but I'm hyped about this. So what does this mean for the Let Them Play movement? What will the winter season look like for these contact sports? Man, oh man, buckle up, because...
Oh, welcome back. A new documentary takes a deep dive into the controversy surrounding the control of pop star Britney Spears' career and fortune. Chris Martinez has this story and more in today's Eye on Entertainment.
A teenager sets out to expose bias and wrongdoings at her high school in the upcoming movie Moxie.
Me and my friends protested everything. We made a ton of mistakes, but you're glad you did it all right. Of course. What are you going to do? Nothing?
Hadley Robinson stars as Vivian, a shy teen who decides to publish an underground newsletter to shine a light on problems at school and ends up sparking a movement. The movie, based on a novel by the same name, is directed by Amy Poehler, who also plays Vivian's mom. Moxie premieres on Netflix March 3rd. The Weeknd is returning to the global stage in a new concert tour. The singer has announced his After Hours World Tour, which will kick off in January of next year. The 104-date global tour will begin in Vancouver with stops across the U.S., including Los Angeles, Chicago, Miami, and Dallas. Tickets go on sale online Monday. In the meantime, you can catch The Weeknd performing live during the Super Bowl halftime show this Sunday.
Britney was so serious and so focused.
And a new documentary takes a look at the battle over control of pop star Britney Spears' career.
And anytime there's that amount of money to be made, you have to question the motives of everyone close to that person.
Framing Britney Spears explores the singer's conservatorship and Spears' objections to her father serving in that role, managing her financial and personal affairs. The situation and ongoing court battle led to fans launching the online hashtag #FreeBritney. Framing Britney Spears, part of the New York Times Presents series, premieres on FX and Hulu tomorrow. That's your Eye on Entertainment. Chris Martinez, CBS News, Los Angeles.
In 5, 4. Well, that's all we have for you this evening.
You could read more about our broadcast stories and get the scoop on other news items online.
Just visit WBKB11.com for sports, weather, and news updates anytime, day or night.
And check us out on our Facebook page and Twitter handle at WBKB11.
And be sure to catch us back here tonight at 11 with Stephanie Manici. Have a great evening.